Upsheni, Imina Hosi Hlongwane. It's a Monday, my favorite day of the week, and I've got a lot of stories to unpack for you guys today. Starting with the two-pot system, it looks like thousands of public workers have put in a request for their 30,000. It just shows you just how dire the situation is financially for many South Africans. I also want to talk about Sinawo Tambo, who has breaking some news for us that there are municipalities run by the DA, the IFP, and the ANC that don't pay the pension funds of their workers. Just imagine. And Colin Malaji, on the other hand, is saying that the EFF can come back to the negotiation for the government of national confusion because the stumbling block in the negotiations was Floyd Shivambu. Whoever takes Colin Malaji serious, that's your problem. Also, there is a small town in Northern Cape by the name of Upington. Upington is one of the cleanest towns that I have been in South Africa, and racism there, it's in the culture. Those people of Upington, or those of us who stay in the Northern Cape, we are not shocked that young men can go online and comfortably say the K word and the N word. They know exactly what they are doing. Their parents are not going to reprimand them. Their schools are not going to reprimand them. It is in their culture in Upington, and I dare anyone to challenge me. Also, last week, we saw Bongani Baloyi joining the MK political party. He was in an interview with Caesar Mpofu Welsh where he narrated a story about a particular Mr. Smith that got me thinking, do the black and colored people who join the Democratic Alliance realize just how racist that party is? Realize just how racist the people, the white people in the Democratic Alliance are. That they grew up being racist up until 1993. They were calling themselves European. Some of them still see themselves as European. I wonder, do colored people and black people ever sit down and reflect and think, is this party the right party for us? I'm going to close this video with Tembi Similane or Nkadimeng, who gave a report back to Parliament in the committee as to her VBS involvement with the Gunda a company that loaned her that money, that 500,000 odds money that she used to buy a coffee shop in Gauteng. You know what? Adifeli ditaba, adifeli.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Blackheart, the hustle continuer. Made to inspire your goals and dreams. 100% good quality clothes are now available at affordable prices. T-shirts, hoodies, sweaters, bucket hats, and more. Place your orders now. 06847366908. Instagram Black7576. Facebook page Blackheart.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Says So. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinchiva, Mr. Easy Imali Enengi, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, I'm breaking down maybe 5 videos for you guys. Guys, the savings pot, the two-pot savings retirement pot, Buffett is a confusion. Many South Africans are in need of money. And I kind of understand, even though it is against the advice of them taking that money, I understand why other people would just say, oh God, let me just take something just to get a breather, even though it is for 1 second. People are advising against it. Do not take your money. You know, it is too little of a money. You might be owing SARS. The percentage that SARS is taking is too much. Everything, what you take home might be 22,000, and that is little to do anything. If anything can be done with such little money. But for some people, they don't care. They are just saying, listen, if I can just get a breather just for 1 or 2 months, it's enough for me.
Stay on this topic. Thousands of employees have withdrawn from the two-pot retirement system. Retirement fund administrators say they have been flooded with requests. Now, the two-pot retirement system came into effect this past week, but SAFTU's Zwelenzima Vavi says the system is a scam.
It won't help workers that are highly indebted. It won't help in real emergencies when workers get themselves on the wrong side of the climate change calamity. Workers are being displaced in their thousands because of the long spells of drought. They need to move in other areas and build new houses. Workers are being displaced by floods, are being displaced by strong winds that destroy their homes. And they won't get a real assistance. A 30,000 can only pay a machonisa, a family member, or a debt that you couldn't settle with your furniture stores, very small amounts of that. Bearing in mind that there will be a tax deduction of anything between 18 and 42%, and there will be an administration fee of 500 rands, and there will be then SARS that will stand in a queue to make any deduction of the previous debt that you may have accumulated and not paid to them. So you may end up having absolutely nothing in your hand.
Guys, the culture of saving is not taught very well into the black culture. We have to be honest. We are not taught very well, because I said, if there is the two-pot system that is happening right now, you as an African nation open a third pot for yourself. But our people are not taught how to save money, because saving is not a culture for us. It's almost like we live for now. And I'm not talking about everyone, but the majority of African people live from paycheck to paycheck. Even as far as saying that some of us who are state workers, we live literally to get paid 2 days and pay all the debts and pay all, and then we just survive and barely make it to the next paycheck. And that is the honest truth that is happening. So yes, it is true. If you take your money, for some of you, it's not going to make a difference. It's not going to make a difference. You're just going to create a culture where every year you're going to be withdrawing this 30,000. And it's not 30,000. They must stop saying 30,000, because that's not what you're going to get, depending on what level you are in the government sector, in the public sector. You might walk away with 22,000, 23,000. The percentage ranges from 18 to 40,000, 40%. So some of you might walk away with literally a 16,000 or 18,000 rand. Just imagine, is it worth it to do that? But a wise man said, when you get money, the first thing you should do is save. The second thing you should do is pay what you need to pay. And then the last thing, if there's anything left, then you can spend it on yourself. And that's a very difficult thing, that every time my money comes, my first thing must be, I'm saving. The third pot. The third pot, you must open it in your heart. You open an account. You say, this is my third pot. The government has given us 2 pots. I'm opening a third pot for me and my family for emergencies. It's easy to say these things, but siyahluleka as abantu. That's why sometimes we have to open black organization that says, guys, we're going to make a debit order from your paycheck, 250 rand. It might seem like it's nothing, but a 250 rand locked for 10 years or 5 years is going to make a big difference. Some of us, we are now almost 10 years into the public sector in the Department of Agriculture, savings dollar, you know. So it is very difficult to live. So let's just see what are those people going to do with their money. I'm very interested also, changing topic, as to what Sinawo Tambo said. Guys, there's actually municipalities that can fund shift money that is supposed to go for pension for workers and use it for other things. Is that not illegal?
If you look at, if maybe on the top of your head, you would think about which of these municipalities have been involved in such schemes?
George municipality is the biggest one that is in areas in the Western Cape. They haven't paid towards the pension fund of municipal workers for 246 months. That's a DA-run municipality. So as Mossel Bay, almost more than 200 months they haven't paid. Also DA-run. Umsunduzi municipality, which is run by the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, hasn't paid in over 100 months. Motu local municipality, which is run by the IFP, hasn't paid also in over 100 months. So municipalities across South Africa, municipalities in the Free State, in the Northwest, in the Northern Cape, there's no municipality that is not implicated in this. It seems to be only in Gauteng, where it's only the Western municipality that is in areas for about 6 months. But generally in Gauteng, there seems to be compliance. But it seems to be municipalities which would ordinarily be characterized as rural municipalities, where there's no much, not metropolitans, where there isn't much attention. You won't find your Cape Metro, you won't find your Nelson Mandela Bay, you won't find your Johannesburg, because possibly there's a lot more activism and eyes of the media on those areas. But where our people don't necessarily have access to information, access to resources of media to be able to speak out, that seems to be where the focus of these crimes are. And the leaders of the so-called government of national unity are heavily involved in terms of they are in control of the municipalities themselves.
I actually wanted to go there. If you look on the issue of the government of national unity, most of them involve all these parties that you have just spoken about now, the DA, the IFP, the ANC. Those are the big three, if I come to think about it. Do you think it would be a good idea for South Africans to trust them in the next 5 years that they're going to be in government if they can do this in such municipalities? I mean, securities are some of the poorest of the poorest. I mean, do you think that they would be capable enough to run government if these allegations tend to be true, to say this is what you guys have been doing in municipalities in the corners? Do you think they are capable enough?
It's an ominous sign. It's a very bad sign of the type of governance that has now presided over South Africa at a national level. Because if you can't have appropriate financial systems in place to execute a very simple task, you have the systems to withdraw the money every month from a worker's salary. What makes it difficult to hand over that money to people? No one should even touch that money. It shouldn't even occur as part of the revenue generating areas for a municipality. It shouldn't be allocated for any activity the municipality must exercise, whether it's to pay its debt, whether it's to maintain infrastructure. That money is for labor costs, and those labor costs are the pension funds of workers. So that money shouldn't even be a discussion even on a municipal budget, because the task is to deduct it from a worker, hand it over to a pension fund. The fact that that line of stream of moving that income from one place to another has been disrupted for periods up to 240 months shows deliberate corruption. It's not mismanagement, it's not even misappropriation. It can't be characterized as a mistake, it can't be characterized as an oversight. There's a deliberate intention to stop a clear stream of money from a worker's salary to their pension fund for nefarious purposes. So I think South Africans should be scared of that.
Why do you think...
Let me tell you something that you don't understand. For those people into the Mossel Bay municipality, the George municipality, and the other municipalities that Usunao has named, retirement is going to be very painful for them. It's going to be very painful. They will be running up and down in courts trying to get their money and unable to get their money. I wonder, why is this not illegal? I wonder why is it that municipalities are allowed to get away with such a hideous crime, playing around with workers' money and fund shifting them for other purposes for months on end. I mean, this money is from, it's my salary. It's a percentage from my salary. Instead of you saving it for me as my employer, you then use it for other things. And you guys still claim that, no, where did the Democratic Alliance governs clean. They've got clean audits. You actually believe this story of clean audits of the DA. I feel sorry for some of you who are putting the DA on that type of a pedestal. They are nowhere close to that. Where they govern, colored and black people suffer. it is a known fact. Where they are, colored and black people suffer. They even you can't even be a street kid, man. They will kick you out of the streets because they can use their courts, because Dr. Don Krope is no longer there. So they can use the courts to chase people even out of the streets. That's what they do, the Democratic Alliance. I was very disturbed when I heard that. I'm like, you know, sometimes we say these stories in passing because it does not affect us directly. But I can just imagine if it was my father, if it was me, if it was my mother, who's working so hard, and for the past 2 years, their pension has not been paid. Guys, that is an error of note. Let's quickly get into Colin Malaji, the comments that he made. I believe it was 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry that I'm late on this story, but it just makes me laugh that there's no political, what do I say? Political wisdom? What do I call it? Political sense, political awareness that is in that boy's head. Colin Malaji, icon.
We've invited everyone, opened the door to everyone, including those that have no offices, which their offices don't know where they are. We've also invited them to the JNU. The EFF was also invited to the JNU. Maybe now that Floyd is gone in the EFF, maybe we must even invite them again, because we know that the stumbling block there was Floyd because of his hatred for the African National Congress. Now with the new development, maybe they might want to come and re-engage. But SACP was engaged on all of these things. That's why they've deployed. The SACP national chair is the Minister of Science and Technology. Some of the Central Committee members of the SACP and Cabinet, others are deputy ministers, others are ministers. Now, they're a party working with us in the JNU. Now, we believe that anything that they are saying is just populist stance. But look, the best JNU would love to have in the future, maybe, if we're to be honest, maybe it's with the SACP. Because the only ones that we believe that might move towards the left properly is the SACP. There is no EFF or Konto Wesizwe that is left lane towards any other progressive direction. Now, there's no difference between that and them and the DA. They are all political organizations. If you can check who is funding them, you'll see they are all funded by the same people.
You know, funny enough, when Floyd Shivambu went to the MK, we were made to believe, according to the stories that were flying, that actually it is Julius Malema who did not want to join the government of national confusion, and Floyd actually wanted to join. And now Colin is coming with another story to say, no, the EFF can come back to the negotiation table because Floyd is no longer there. I mean, did Colin listen to what Julius Malema said even after Floyd left? The EFF does not play that game. The EFF knows for them to join the government of national unity, it will be the death of the EFF. That will be the EFF telling their voters to go and vote for MK. It is as good as that. You cannot shift and go work with the DA and the Freedom Front Plus. Anyone can work with the ANC, but the left-wing parties will never work with the DA and the what you call the Freedom Front Plus on a national platform. You can't. You just can't. And for Colin to even suggest that he's just trying to score points and maybe he's trying to be a clown, he doesn't know where to go and perform and do his jokes. But for him to even suggest such a thing is I feel sorry for the EFF, for the ANC to have such a youth leader. I wonder when is his term ending, because he really knows nothing about leading the youth. He's detached from the reality and the struggles that the youth face, because he was a member of parliament last year, and he's very wealthy, that boy. He does not struggle like the youth is struggling. You need to have someone like Usihle of the EFF who understand the struggle of the youth. He's in the ground, he's working with the people, so he understands very well what is going on there. Colin Malaji, very detached from the reality that is going on. Speaking about the youth, in Uppington we had a scenario of young boys that were on the internet proudly calling the K word and calling the N-word. And this is why we are fighting the DA when it comes to this issue of Ronaldo Hues. They are complaining about Dr. John Shope, but they've got racists of note who call openly on the internet the K-word and the N-word. Openly. These children, they have copied from Ronaldo Hues because they see that racism in South Africa is not punished. You know, I'm not going to play the clip. I'll just put it here. But if you haven't seen it, I'm sure most of you have already seen it. It's very disturbing that he even threatens to shoot the boy if he doesn't post it. It's like, look, I'm following you. I want to see that you post this thing, or understand I can use skit. And they even have that confidence. There's nothing that is going to... His father and the school are going to pat him here and say, well done. But don't do it again. Eh? Be careful next time. Don't do it again. That's what they're going to do. There's nothing that is going to happen to that boy. What happened to the racist in the Free State who are fighting our African children in the swimming pool? What happened to them? Nothing. What happened to the racist Boer man who took out a gun in fish and chips in Limpopo? Nothing happened. There's nothing that is going. What happened to those racists that put a black brother in a casket? Nothing. Yeah, you can get a small jail sentence here, they're out, or they get bail or whatever. There's nothing that happens to that because our political parties, especially those who are in power, don't have the political will to deal with racism. And that is the truth. You will never hear them say anything. The Minister of Basic Education, this is under her portfolio. These students are her students. You'll never hear her saying anything to rebuke these children from this type of just make an example with one child. And it's not going to stop because South Africa has never sat down and said, you know what, the history has traumatized us as black people and white people. We need to sit down and reconcile. And that, as long as that will never happen, black South Africans will continue fighting other African people, not understanding that their anger is misdirected. You are busy telling your children, live in harmony when you get to school, be respectful and whatever. Those ones are telling their children, listen, those things are baboons. Those things are monkeys. You address them with the K word. You address them with the N word. That is how these things are happening. They teach their children properly to say, those things are not your equals. That is how they address us. But anyways, another example to make here is Ubongane Baloyi, who joined the MK. And it's a good move for him. I mean, his Smallanyana party was not going to make any dent. There's no Smallanyana party that is in the left that is going to make any dent ever since the MK has formed. Let's listen to what he said about Ntole or Mr. Smith on the season Pofu Welsh. I hope you guys are also following and subscribe to season Pofu Welsh.
Initially, when we joined the DA, our family did not approve. Really did not approve. And I understood later, and I think I've told the story as well. I'm telling you many stories which are very important for what we are talking about now. So my grandfather used to tell me a story about a Mr. Smith in the East End who would lock them out, remove their staff, who led the town council then, I think the Eastern Services or whatever it was then, and they would forcefully remove people from their homes. And there was this Mr. Smith, whom they really detested. So he would tell me if I were to meet this fellow now, because of how I saw him treat my father, and this is my grandfather telling me that a young man my age treating and speaking to my father, that's my grandfather's father, the way he did, and he would do whatever's necessary. Then time passed, and we were sitting with the Speaker of Cape Town I think it must have been in 2012, and he was telling a story about when he was a young man and he was part of a municipality in Ekurhuleni, and he was notorious, worked with people there. And at that precise moment, I realized that I am sitting with the very person who my grandfather was describing to me. and he was speaking about his part in a very glowing way of, you know, being part of administration and knows the area, knows the people. So I'm highlighting that to say, never mind the different factions, not factions, but political associations in the family. Some of these political associations have been built through real situations, and that what people have experienced in their lives, and they've taken a view that they will never support or work or endorse a party that works with people of the particular race. So then when you take a decision such as that, you find yourself in an interesting situation, and more so when things go full circle, that you yourself find yourself sitting with a person like that, and you become seriously uncomfortable, which starts, I think for me, that was the moment that started the internal contradiction when I was in the Democratic Alliance, because I could not reconcile how am I with the very same person that did this, sitting in the very same room, in the same party, and purporting to want the same thing. So for me, and remember at that stage I was 24, 23, 24. So a very a young age, and I think for me those moments really started the internal contradictions. But I understood that sometimes political associations is not a thing of just general choice. It's also a product of circumstance.
Absolutely.
And people pursuing a particular route against a particular struggle. So it's a real thing. So politics is genuinely a real thing, and not what people think that is a nicety or just some famous, just to be famous or, you know, sing songs. But it's real.
Yeah. Listen, my African people, I know you guys like kissing white ass, and you like you actually believe that black people can't do anything without the help of white people. White people are better than us. I know the educational system has taught you that. I know that most of you don't see yourself better, don't see yourself able, don't see yourself competent to do things without white people. That's why you have joined the DA, because I can't see any other reason. There is no a good thing that you can name and say, oh, the DA is doing this good and the ANC is failing. There's nothing that they are doing good. Nothing. Running a municipality, no, they're failing. In George, they are not paying people as a pension fund, and they allow the building to collapse on top of people and unalive many people. What consequences is going to come there? Absolutely no consequences. Who's the contractor? It's a white contractor, so it's okay. Those people can be unalived. It's fine. That is what is happening. And now our brothers and sisters who are in the DA must understand, most of those DA leaders, the Afrikaner ones, don't see themselves as equals to these black voters. They don't. They're just using them, and they are happy to see that there's still black people who are still blind to vote for the DA. Our people, they don't want to wake up. They don't want to wake up. I told you guys, these politicians, they are just masquerading there on the internet, but they are not doing any work that is extraordinary. Dean McPherson, the Minister of Public Works, he came out 2 months ago and said, guys, there was 300 million stolen from public works, from cyber hacking. Did he ever came back to you guys and tell you, where is that 300 million? Who stole that 300 million? No, we're under investigating. They're investigating forever, surprisingly, because they could tell us in 3 weeks that there was money stolen. So if you saw that there was money stolen, obviously you saw where the money went. You know, it baffles me how we are so quick to say, no, the DA is working, the DA is working, this minute the GNU is working. The other one is Gaten McKenzie. Don't want to speak about him, but he was a pro-colored. He got a ministry, he kept quiet about being pro-colored. Now he's like, now I'm thankful Ramaphosa gave me blue light so I can't stuck on traffic like the normal people. That is what he's proud of. The Minister of Home Affairs, we're still waiting for the Chidima final report. They say Chidima's mother stole someone's identity. We're still waiting to hear, where is this family? How have they been doing? How have they suffered because of Chidima's mother's act and all of those things? But we then heard that South Africa's Home Affairs is working with Nigeria's Home Affairs to give them diplomatic passports, so that Chidima and their parents can travel freely. Not Chidima and her parents, Chidima specifically. So we are confused. How long? It's like they are waiting for this story to die off, and it's not going to die off. We want to talk because apparently there is a South African mother and a child that has suffered because of the actions of Chidima's mother. So we're not going to keep quiet. We want to know where is this family that suffered, so that we can voice out. And when we are fighting and complaining to our African brothers, we tell them, look what happened here. But now we don't have the story. So I'm saying, at the absence of the story, we cannot in any way, shape, or form attack Chidima's mother, because the Home Affairs is not giving us full information. So this thing of DA ministers working, like I said, the minister of basic education does nothing when there's racism. They won't even call her for interviews because she won't comment on racism, because she's in the DA, she's in a trap, she cannot comment on anything of that. So Bongane is a good move to the MK. Hope the MK can use him. He's got a track record, and he was right in that interview to say, when you speak about him, you think you're speaking about an old man, and he's 38 years old, because he's got kilometers, political kilometers under his belt, because of the work that he has done in the DA, in Action SA, forming his own party, and now moving to the MK political party. It was a good move. Let's close quickly, guys, with this VBS saga. Thembi Nkadimeng, what did she say in response to all the allegations? Did she take the money? Is it true? What is going on at VBS? Let's listen to her comments.
Maybe loan is not the right word in the example that I'm making, but I'm saying I can ask you, Honorable Trolip, and ask, can you borrow me money on Friday? And you say yes. And on Thursday, you kill your mom. You give me the money on Friday. The following week, I get to know the money you gave me comes from an act that would have been. I loaned from Gundu, not from VPS. I loaned from Gundu. My contract is with Gundu, not with VPS. So that's where the distinction is. And I regret the harm it has caused the people of a vendor in particular. Honorable members, it's a matter of public record again that Polokwane municipality invested money in VBS in my tenure as an executive mayor. But what is not amplified is that on the advice from technical expertise within the municipality, myself as a mayor instituted the withdrawal of Polokwane investment from VPS. My attitude at the time was that if there was anything improper with regards to municipality funds, it must be stopped forthwith. It is important to note that the withdrawal took place 2 months even before the letter from National Treasury ordered all municipalities who were investing in VBS to withdraw their investment. The published allegations are anchored around 2 questions in the main. Did I have an improper relationship with the contractor appointed by the municipality which I served as a mayor? And secondly, did I receive financial benefits from the same contractor? Honorable Chair, allow me to deal with this question. And the first one, the improper relationship. I did not have any improper relationship with the contractor appointed by the municipality. And let me give the context to this assertion. I will touch a bit on the appointment process of Gundu as the financial advisor on investment decisions of the municipality. Mayors are never involved, or councillors are never involved in procurement. So the work of appointment of a service provider is a responsibility of executives in the municipality. And in this instance, an advert was ran, a supply chain management process was undertaken, and Gundu Wealth Solutions was appointed as the investment manager, financial advisor to the municipality for a period of 3 years. This advisory work was undertaken at no financial cost to the municipality, meaning it was not a tender where you are building a house and then there is a particular budget and you are. So it was an unsolicited bid where you work at the commission that you are receiving. It's what you get to be paid for. So there is no money that was paid by Polokwane municipality to Gundu.
Guys, if you've been following my channel for some time, you know that I'm quite I like Utembing Kadiming. I like her character and the type of work that she does, but I'm disappointed big time in her. The way she was narrating the story of Gundu and the municipality, her role in everything, I can hear what she's trying to say, you know, trying to distance herself, that she's not part of the, as a mayor, she's not part of the procurement processes or the supply chain processes and all of those things. But my sister, it's not looking good for you, man. It's not good. Even if you say you initiated the withdrawal, you can't say you were not part when the money was deposited, but now you say you initiated the withdrawal 2 months before National Treasury said take back the money. And we do understand that that the municipality itself, the Polokwane municipality, did not lose any money as to this issue. But it does not look good, man. The improper relationship with Gundu, the contractor, is there. It unfortunately is there. My question is the why now? Because Julius Malema told us about this when they were being attacked, when Floyd was still in the EFF. Julius Malema told us multiple times, not once, he told us multiple times that you guys go to them in Polokwane, you'll get the stories. Now, my assumption is that there's many other ANC people that are involved indirectly like this. Worked with a company that worked with the municipality that gave them money. Whether you call it a loan or whether you call it a handshake, whether you call it a brown envelope, whatever the terminology you use is irrelevant. The issue is that you worked or you got money from a company that is connected with working with the what you call the municipality. And guys, why is it that we don't employ competent people in the municipalities? Why must you have a financial advisor? Why must Gundu Wealth Solutions be a financial advisor to the municipality? Does the municipality not know what they're doing for them to get a financial advisor? For me, it's not adding up. And for her to say maybe saying loan is not the right term. No, loan is the right term. Because now you made 3 payments, paying back the money. Funny enough, the dates are also not dating because you started paying the money when Treasury said, no, withdraw the money. And you saw that you are in trouble. And now you have put your president into a situation where he must now act. Because all of us now we want to see, does this president have some, or if not a set of balls, at least one ball still, out there for him to make decisions? For the mere fact that the president has taken so long, I think the president is on his side. Because I think if he was not on his side, he would have acted a little bit earlier. She's still going to go into the integrity committee of the ANC, scrutinized there also. I don't think anything's going to come out of there, but we want to see what is going to happen. Now, why she chose Gundu to take this money to buy a coffee shop and, instead of going the traditional way. She did explain that she thought of going to the pension route, but she saw that the interest was too high. Not the interest, the percentage that they cut from the pension money. If she takes from that, it's going to be too high. The bank was also too high. Then she decided on Gundu. The story is not clear. The story is not clear. My only question is the why now, man? Why now? Why? What are these people up to? This DA? What are they up to? Because it's this them that is pushing this thing and forcing Cyril Ramaphosa to act on Otembing Kadimeng. They are pushing it so much. And she's saying, listen, I did not get any loan from VBS. I got them from the Gundu. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. I would have played the whole thing for you guys, but the moral of the story is that she got the money and paid it back with 3 installments. And she's denying any involvement. She's saying as a mayor, she was not part of the procurement processes. All of those things don't matter. It was there and nobody else that you could have worked with. You chose to work with these ones that have got a link to the municipality that you are the mayor of. It doesn't add up. You can say whatever you want. You, as a politician, you don't have an excuse for not being extra careful. I think the ANC, those municipalities, how many, 15 of them, were too relaxed to play around with the people's money into VPS. They were too relaxed. They thought, oh my God, here's a gold mine. Here we can do whatever we want. That was their mistake, and it's catching up to them. One by one, they're going to come out. And my issue is, why is it coming out one by one? And also, we make it seem as if you go to the Western Cape and check the contractors that are always getting the same, that are winning the bids all the time, that the white DA is not also doing the same thing there in the Western Cape. For me, I'm always thinking what we are doing, they are doing also, because the DA also needs to survive. The DA is also corrupt. Everything that the ANC is doing, the DA is doing, if not worse. You understand? My issue is that our people don't have the intelligence to go and investigate that side. That's why I said, man, I must formulate this Peta legal minds. And that will be the company that we're going to use as a weapon to fight some of these unfair, one-sided stories that the media is pushing. Because we need people who can investigate. We need people that can open cases. We need to take people to court in order to defend the African people here in South Africa. I promise you we need to do that. And also I'd like to thank everyone that has donated to Peta, the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture, our way of infiltrating the educational system and Africanizing it so that we can teach history to our children, we can teach economics to our children, technology to our children, but most importantly, we can teach our children agriculture. Because when we say we want to take the land back, who's going to work on that land? Do the people who are Africans have the necessary knowledge, the technicality? Because agriculture is slowly evolving, the industry is evolving, the technology is evolving, the methodology of farming and crop farming and all of those things is changing each and every year. So you have to stay up to date. We're not going to mine and farm like our grandfathers used to do. There's technology right now that is used. So we need to be efficient with the latest technology that is happening now. And we need to teach it to the next generation to say, guys, this is your weapon, so that when the land comes, you guys are ready, because the land will come, no maganjan. The issue is that the Dutch and the British think that we're going to be divided forever. But the time of Africans waking up has already started. We can see with our generation that we've got a generation that says, no, we can sit down and contribute 50 rand to building a Pan-African school. A school that is pro-African, a school that teaches the correct history, a school that teaches Ubuntu, African morals to our children, how to walk, how to talk, the confidence that our children need to have going into society, cryptocurrency, technology, and everything that our children need as skills to survive in this modern era. Because the school system that we have now of our the basic education is not assisting our children with anything. How can your child get out of school and they don't know how to farm? Basic farming, gardening. And tomorrow I'm making a big announcement. I'm just I'm just finalizing the fun print of it, but we will be having online courses for you guys who want to do some agricultural short courses. I know you guys will be excited about this. We have teamed up with a strategical partner. So tomorrow I'll be making an announcement. You guys will be starting to see posters and stuff flying around. Peta is already going online because we're not going to wait for the physical building to come. But we've got our African partners that we can strategically partner with and start teaching our African people agriculture. I mean, it's very important to me. So everyone that is contributing to Peta, your money is going for the great use of building this school and building the African nation. We've already, yesterday I had a meeting with Peta Lesotho. Very excited to be talking with the people of Lesotho. Very soon I'll be announcing Peta Lesotho. Peta Namibia, they are doing very well. They just registered their company there. So I'm excited that they've registered the school there. We'll be doing some more announcement there. Uganda is coming, Angola is coming, and Zimbabwe is coming. Every country in Africa must have a Peta school so that we can have the foundation of the children, so that we know that the future is secured as long as the children are given the proper education. You'll excuse me because I can talk the whole day when it comes to Peta. Thank you so much, guys, for all the contributions. If you haven't already, take our bank account, take our numbers on WhatsApp and send us a message so that we can give you the bank account if you're not seeing it clearly here, and make a contribution of 50 Rand monthly. Okay, we said 3 months. Give us 3 months. We've got targets to reach in 3 months. Please let us work together, and we do have the numbers. Don't underestimate your small contribution that you are making to Peta African Child. Let's make sure that we are not a generation that makes noise on social media and does nothing on the ground. We are the generation that are the change that we want to see. Thank you so much, guys. And remember, we need to identify who we are and what we stand for before we can identify what we are fighting. Because most of the time, we always identify, no, we are fighting these people, but we don't understand what we are. We are who we are and what we stand for. And that is the reason why we are fighting these people. So even when this fight is going on, we must never forget who we are on this side. Hey, I'm starting to preach. Thank you so much, guys. It's a Monday. Have a blessed day. It's a new week. Other people did not make it to this week. You made it because God allowed you to live for so long. Thank you so much, African Child. Take care of yourself. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. After you pray, stand up, African Child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.